So we're starting a new unit, and we're going to be getting into a lot of stuff talking about conversions. And so what we can do is use a method, like a math method, called dimensional analysis. And basically what dimensional analysis is a problem-solving method for converting between units. In general, the first step that we want to do is we want to identify what we're given and then figure out what we want. And then what we want to do is use something called unit factors or conversion factors to make those jumps from one unit to another. And what we can do is we can write, for example, a common one is how many inches are there in 1 foot?
12.
Right. So we can say 1 foot is equal to 12 inches, and one way we can write it is we can say in 1 foot there are 12 inches.
Well, but what if I'm not trying to get to feet? What if I'm trying to get to inches?
Well, then if we're trying to go the other direction, we can flip it around. So we can say 12 inches in a foot. So for one way, if we're starting with feet, we can say, well, in 1 foot there's 12 inches. If we're starting with inches, we can say, well, there's 12 inches for every foot. And
which direction you're going to need it's going to make a little bit more sense.
Yeah,
when we get into problems. The other thing you need to remember is the reason we call them unit factors is because 1 foot and 12 inches are the same amount. And if you have the same amount divided by itself, what does that equal?
1.
1. So these are both equal to 1 because they both represent the same distance. And so we can multiply what we're given by as many unit factors as we want, but we haven't actually changed our original value really. We've just changed its units. That's not really important. It's just if you're curious as to why we're doing this. Let's look at some actual problems. This will make more sense.
All right, so we got 29.5 inches, and we want to convert that to feet. Now, we've got, for a lot of these problems that we're working with, we have common conversion factors or common unit factors that we're going to be using. So we're going to be pulling from this a lot. Okay, so the last slide, the first thing that we wanted to do was figure out
what we're given.
Okay, and I can just write a G for given. And we were given 29.5 inches. So given 29.5 inches.
And then we want to know what we want. We want to get to what?
We want to get to feet, so...
Yeah, so if you're not sure, your given is going to have a number with it that only has 1 unit. What you want is going to just be a unit.
Well, that would make sense because we don't actually have...
Right, because you don't have a number yet. If you've got more numbers than that, watch out. But those won't really show up for quite a while. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to do what we call our railroad tracks. So we're going to do a horizontal line, and in the middle of that we're going to draw a vertical line. And so what this is going to tell us to do is the vertical line tells us we're going to multiply.
Let me jot that down.
And
there we go.
The horizontal line is going to tell us to divide. Which you should recognize, the horizontal line being divided, you should recognize from math. All right, so we're always going to take what we're given and put it in the top left corner.
All right, so we were given 29.5.
But was it just 29.5?
Well, no, it was 29.5 inches.
All right, we've got to make sure we keep our units the whole time, because actually it's going to make our life a whole lot easier. So we're given 29.5 inches.
All right.
And so if you think back to when you learned how to multiply and divide fractions, if we had a 2 in that top corner there, but we wanted the 2 to go away, where else would we need a 2?
We would want to have the 2 on the bottom.
Right, we
of
could
the
cancel
line.
them out.
Right.
So, since we have inches in our top left corner, we also want inches in our bottom right.
Okay, so we've got inches.
Because we're currently in inches, we don't want to be in inches, we're trying to get to feet.
Okay, that makes sense.
So, we want inches on the bottom, we're going to go up to our common conversion factors and find something that involves inches and hopefully feet if we're lucky.
All right, so I see a couple of them with inches. There's that one and this one, but the second one is the only one that has inches and feet. So 12 inches equals 1 foot.
So you're going to fill in your 12 where you already have your inches,
Okay,
because we know that's where we need inches, and then the other part of that is going to go on top.
okay. Kind of like what we were talking about.
Kind of like what we were talking about, where we
Okay.
can flip it around. All right, so now we have inches on top and inches on bottom, so we can cancel the
So that
inches
means-
out. Don't touch the numbers, just the
Okay,
inches.
so just the symbol we can cross out. Okay.
And so if we look, do we have any units left in our problem?
We've got feet.
Well, what did we want in our problem?
Feet.
Feet. So we've done what we need to do. We have gotten
okay.
to the units we
Okay.
want. So now we can actually do the math.
All right. So, okay, so the vertical line is telling us we got to multiply. So I'm going to have 25.5 times 1.
29.5
29.5. I should read my own handwriting.
Yes.
Times 1. Okay, which is just itself. So that's pretty easy.
So go ahead and put 29.5.
No, that's silly. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so
On top we have 29.5 feet.
feet. There we
Okay.
go.
And then on bottom, what do we have?
12.
12.
Right?
Do we have any
Okay.
units with it?
No,
It's
because
just
we
12.
crossed out those. Okay, so it's just 12.
So we have 29.5 divided by 12.
Okay, plug
And-
those in, and we get. I'm gonna have to write it down here towards the bottom. 2.46 feet.
Box our answers. We know where it is. All right.
So if I have 29.5 inches, it would be the same as 2.64 feet.
2.46.
2.46. Oh, good heavens!
Right.
All right.
Because and we should know that two feet's 24 inches and 3 feet's 36 inches. So it's got to be
Yeah,
somewhere
so it's,
between
yeah,
those
okay,
two.
that
So it
makes
makes
sense.
sense. All right.
Okay, so we got one more now. Looks like 80 kilometers. Wow, that's long. And we want to go to inches. Okay, so we are given 80 kilometers. We want inches. Okay, so we're going to start by, let's see, we'll draw the tracks. And we've got 80 kilometers right there. We want kilometers on the bottom, right? So they'll cancel out.
All right. Now let's
And
look at conversion factors with kilometers.
All right, conversion factors with kilometers. Ah, I found one. Well, I have
So this gives us our kilometers
to
miles.
miles.
So
Okay.
what number do I want with my kilometers?
Okay, so the 1.61 is with the kilometers, so I'm going to go ahead and keep that with the kilometers. And then up top, right above it, I've got miles, and I want to put the 1 next to it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I've got kilometers and kilometers. What can I do?
Okay, so those can cancel, so that puts us at miles.
But that's not where I want to be.
No, because we want to be at inches.
So
Okay.
let's keep going. Let's find something that involves miles.
Okay, so let's see. We did that one. Another one that looks like it has miles. Here's one. 1 mile is 5,280 feet.
Okay.
Okay. So I guess, can I just draw, kind of extend it out like that? Okay. So I've got 1 mile.
And we put our miles on the bottom because we want them to cancel.
Right.
And then that got us to.
feet right there.
And
So
our
we've
number
got
is.
5,280
Okay.
feet.
All right.
Okay.
So that gives us to feet. We're not quite there yet. So we need a conversion factor that involves feet.
Okay, well, we were just talking about this one, actually, with feet into inches, and inches is what we want.
Yeah, so that's
Okay.
That's gonna get us there.
All right, so feet on the bottom, inches on top. The number that goes with the feet is 1, and the inches is 12.
Okay.
And so the feet are gone. And now, okay, so now we're at inches. So we can stop?
Now we can do our math.
Okay.
So everything on top we're going to.
All right, so if it's all on top, we want to multiply. So 80 times 1 times 5,280 times 12.
And then we're going to divide.
And everything on the bottom. So now can I just say divided by 1.61 since
Right, because everything else is 1,
ones?
so it's not
Okay.
going to change.
Okay. And so if I put all of that together, I'm going to, wow. That's a
Lots
big
and lots of
number.
inches.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't leave myself enough space, so I'm going to go ahead and put that right there. Let's see. So my calculator says 3149606.3. That means it's 3,149,606.3, and we were in inches.
This,
Okay.
by the way, is why scientific notation is nice, because you wouldn't have to write nearly so much. But let's
Yeah, no
just leave
kidding.
it here. All right. So now we've walked you through a couple. There are a couple guided practice in your packet. Try to work through those. When you get done with them or when you get stuck, come back and join us and see how you do.